Welcome to the Camping World 200 at Chicagoland Speedway. Bit of a cloudy-ish day, but it's going to be turning to nighttime relatively shortly, so that'll be pretty cool. We got David on pole, Jessic second, Carwolfia third, Geo fourth. Stage 1, 16 laps. Stage 2, 16 laps. Stage 3 will be 38, which makes a 70-lap race here around Chicagoland. We will see what will happen very shortly. Jesse making a part-time start. Green flag. We'll have to restart under review to see if he jumped it. Don't think he did. It might have just been quick on the gun. But regardless, doesn't matter if he gives up positions or not. If you jump it, you jump it. It'll take forever to string the wall. Oh boy. David takes the lead real quick. Damn. I can't leave. I don't. Yeah, that's a GG's. It is a jump. It's like barely by like a couple of frames. That's unfortunate. Guys fighting for position already. $65 miles an hour. If you're blocking for his life, top 3 are playoff contenders right now. Jessic's just kind of running the race. If he wins the race, though, that'd be kind of cool for him if he can. He's going to make a entry down pit road, serve his penalty, and probably out of it for stage 1. I don't think he'll be 2 laps down. It's just a pass through, so he doesn't have to stop. So I don't think he will go a lap down at all. I think he'll just be extremely far behind. We'll have to rely on a caution, which will be pretty. It'd be a miracle if someone gets a caution, I guess. Carwolfia quite a few points behind Geo at the moment, so any point he can get over the 16 is imperative for him to do something. The truck package kind of acts like a super speedway truck almost. It's pretty easy to hold the bottom, at least for now. You have to rely on the run kind of behind you. Get past the guy on the top side. We'll have to see. Nope, nothing at all for it. Oh, Gio had an opening. Carwolfia was a little late to block on it. He'll probably move back to third. Gio to the top spot. Carwolfia explains that he was a little laggy. But overall, he continues with the race, still in contention for the stage. Coming around now with 10 laps to go this time by. It's been a very interesting race thus far. In terms of this, how it's played out. Increasingly turned into nighttime, you know? Carwolfio sees an opening. He's going to go for it. Gio. Oh, David sees an opening. He's going to go for it. And David has the spot. Has the inside at least. Where does Gio go? Will he help the 5 or the 78? He's going with the 5. Not sure if Carwolfio's going to be able to clear into turn 1. He can. Just barely over the 78. Back up to the 16, trying to get a run. And a run he did get. And okay. Very little space to really make a pass, but made it work, I guess. And Gio is there on the inside. And trying to get him in space. Around he goes. It is quite literally a 2-truck battle for the stage right now. Carwolfio probably would have liked Gio to maybe be in 3rd. Misfortunate is a way of putting it. Well, it's a way of putting it. We'll wait until lap 11 to put it in effect. To lead, looking for win number 7, and Carwolfio looking for win number 3. Funny enough, he got 3 wins this season. Although I feel like a few of them have slipped out of his hands. Try not to let one slip out one today. Now it's fully nighttime. Things should get extremely interesting from this point forward. Oh, he tried to turn down and just... It did not work. Get off the wall, boy. Get off that wall. At least for like the first lap, I'd be like, I'm like, well, as you may have noticed, I did say the track conditions will change. What this is going to allow for is some very interesting cornering. Perhaps the outside line might be usable, but she was holding that inside line pretty down there. So that allows Carwolfio to give him a little bit more of a, some more flexibility instead of just running behind him. As he's going to make a daring move to the inside. Try to take the lead. Gio is trying to use the momentum up in the top. Carwolfio's going to put him in the wall. And Gio did not like that one bit. So lit for Carwolfio to not put him in the wall, though Carwolfio is barely clear. Not anymore. Side by side with 2 laps to go at the stage. Still side by side. Carwolfio holds strong on the outside. The outside line can work now. I don't think it's as reliable as the Busch Series will be in tomorrow's race, but it is definitely, it works. You can make it work. Still side by side. Gio try to go up the racetrack. They are sideways. Everything stays fine. White flag in stage 1. He's gonna try to hold the inside as much as he can. Coach trying to use the top. Didn't really get much of a run. He's gonna have one more shot at Gio for these stage points. Goes to the bottom. This man's going all the way in the apron trying to protect his position. Oh, certainly intriguing. Gio wins stage 1, I guess. That was really strange how that played out. David and Janisek going for his third here. Janisek's not going to have the run off the corner. And it will be David who gets third. Janisek fourth. flag, no one jumps this time. It's a clean start for everybody, so see what happens this stage. And now we have some different types of setups mid-race, and a Genesik was there. He's there. He's side by side right now with David. I think he was really expecting that. Lots of big shoves here. This David nearly got wall glitch from typing. Where does Carl Wolfield go? He's gonna try to get to a space, and he ended up pushing the 16 out and away he goes. There wasn't really much room to begin with. Oh, I know what I'm doing next lap. I know how to do it. God bless you. How to lift at a track without riding the wall off the corner. I don't know how to do that. Looks like actually no two of you did. That's pretty wild. Probably for giving shoves to David. 3 wide for the lead for the time being. Cole Wolfield now takes the top spot. Now Gio to the inside of Carl Wolfield for the lead. Wolfield really shoot up all over his entrance there. And there goes the 81. Around he goes. And I don't know why he did that. David out to a pretty insane lead. Carl Wolf is in second. Couple tenths behind. I know what to do now. Gio nearly flipped over. This man, I say I'm done for the stage, and then parks the car like he's not gonna be a lap down. But if you don't get going now, you're gonna be 2 laps down, and then then you can't win the race. To the top side this time around. Gio keeps wall glitching off turn 2. Oh, this man froze. Corner for both DG Motorsport cars, which are right now 1-2. Which I forgot we were in this race. He said something over the radio. Not too sure what it was, but it was certainly something. And it didn't matter anyway. The guy, the 50 guy. Fetty Wap. David's around. Which quite literally makes this a, one-car race. I mean, in theory, if they work together, they might be able to catch up to Carlo, but he is so far out to the lead, and it's almost impossible to catch up to somebody now because of the changed track conditions. It feels like maybe stage 1, maybe. Oh, Karloff had wall glitched. Blood. This man is lagging out the wazoo. That's not my fault. It's your choice if you want to wall ride the entire corner once giving up on lifting. Whatever happens from there, that's all on you, dog. Yeah, David is out to a pretty comfortable lead, barring anything wild happening. Should be able to have this one, but we'll see if Carbofia is making any time at all. And if he is, that might raise a point of concern for the 78, but for the time being, not much concern is needed. 3.1 seconds back is the 5. See what the split is next lap. He is definitely going to finish in the top 3 because Genesec's a lap down once again. Alright, this lap doesn't look too much different. 3.6, lost about 5 tenths that lap. So definitely not in drafts. It's going to be all about a cornering game. Get your corners right, and there's not really much you can gain here. So what it seems to be the consensus is once you're out to the lead, unless something really tragic happens, and the other guy doesn't have drafts, it's over. And Karolfia had a chance to capitalize, and he screwed up turn 3. This is Bush and you're lucky. I meant like in a type of thing. Because Bush cars are not going to have draft at all. So it will literally be once you're out to the lead, it's pretty much over and gone with. Well, as I say that, David got wall pushed. LOL. Corfield's within striking distance. I think he has draft now. But it's not a surefire thing that he will win the stage. Still has to catch up to the 78 and then pass him without getting wall glitched. And he has 3 laps to do so. It's a time crunch. See if you can do it. And he can't. Wall glitches off turn 2. I'm just saying, man. 2 to go. And the 78. Geo might go look for some points here. Explode, David. 16 closes in on the 5 quite a bit. It'll be a dogfight for second. Again, Coalfield lost 5 points to Gio in stage 1. Just trying to gain those 5 points back. Gio's going to make a crossover move. Carl Wolfia had the draft, the bump draft on the top side. Wasn't really able to do much with it. Now they're side by side. David's within more striking distance than I thought they were, but alright. To the top. Now up to the racetrack. To the bottom of the track. David's going to win the stage. Carwolfia is going to take second over Gio. And gains back those 5 points he lost over Gio in stage 1. Yeah, because you can run the track easily. It's not. It wasn't good for racing product. And yeah, we're talking about Daytona trucks. Definitely better than the season opener, but it wasn't great by any means. Gotten smaller? They sure have over the past season. You can definitely tell. Final stage. Of course, a little bit behind, but should catch up within a couple of laps. This is for the race, obviously, and stage points have been pretty important, so the guys that have been able to get some stage points, well, might be interesting. I think this package, although not perfect, so it's definitely better than what we had earlier in like the first 10 laps. Carl Wolfe with a daring move on the inside. Oh my god, he spins himself out trying to make said daring move. He's back to square one. Again, long stage here. And, he said test one. I don't think that should be how you consider that, but sure. Back to the lead. Here comes David to the inside of Janosect as well. Just trying to fight back. Dude slows down in the middle of the corner. Really up high here. It's a little run off the top side. David blocks to the inside. He gets a really tragic entry. So to kind of gain it back on exit, Karwolfia now leads the race. Yeah, Janosect did win this race last year in the Truck Series. He wasn't extremely dominant the entire day. He did have a fast truck and was able to pull away. Gee, I'm just gonna ram it in there. Pause. LOL. Rams it into turn 2. Good lord. Absolutely sent the truck and gets past Karwolfia, now trying to get past David. What? Who are your parents? I want to meet them. And then slap them in the face. David trying to slingshot move, puts the 16 a little bit in the wall, but kind of helped him with the bump drafts. Not by much. She's going to get another bump draft from the 78. Clear the 5 temporarily. Karwolfia back down to the inside. David to the back of the 5. He tried to stay off the 16. Side by side they both are now. 16 back out to the front. Big shunt for the 5. Back up to the 16's back bumper all over it. David nearly gets spun around. Carwolf tried to lift a little bit better out of his entry. They wasn't expecting it, and they nearly all wrecked. Trying to get all that situated. Carwolf, not a great entry here in the corner. David comes up on the 5 and then clears himself, nearly wrecks again. Gio has been able to avoid all the madness since he's out front. Now coming around with, guess what, 30 laps to go. Most likely these guys will need to pit. I say most likely because I'm not exactly too sure, but most likely. If that's the case, they only have to pit once. And if it goes green the entire way, which with how they're racing, I'm not too sure that'll happen. But with how they're racing, I think if they do go green the entire way, pit stops will be pretty important, as the 5 nearly has a big moment on the backstretch and butchers his entry. Puts the 60 and the 78 behind the 8 ball. Cofield lifts off the corner, gives the 81 the lead. Big shot for the 5 to the inside of Janicek now. Now Cofield clear out to the lead. Janicek with a pretty big run on the top side. He's gonna nearly make it work 3 wide. And Janicek, with help from David, nearly clears himself. Holds the lead for now. Now he won't. It's now 16 of Gio to his inside. Pretty wild stuff we're seeing right now. We're still side by side. Because no one has really seriously wrecked. And they've done everything but wreck. David clear for the lead. This man's on the grass, nearly sideswipes the 78. David cleared, and then 16 and the 5 were right there. Up the racetrack goes David. Gets a little hit from the 5. David's not happy about him being hit up the racetrack. And do it to Carwolf here. This is the antics I was talking about with Carwolf here earlier on the podcast. He can keep himself out of these types of situations. He'll be aight. Fresh into the playoffs. I wasn't expecting them to go away immediately. Hopefully over time, as the 16 and the 81 get spun, the 16 gets going very quickly, and Janicek's going to be within drafts. It will take him a while to get back up there. Now with 25 laps to go in this race. When do we expect to see these guys pit? I'd probably say around 10, maybe 5 to go, depending on how far you can make it on field. Gio just about does a Carl Edwards type move, and Carl is able to do the crossover back into second. the truck race. Carl Wolfer trying to win, and first time in a while. Gio trying to go back to back, and Janicek just trying to win the truck series in general. Because this man, he has not won in the truck series this season. He's won poles. Not a truck series victory, although he's had some great success at some racetracks. Would like to see one at least today. Side by side now. Janicek has gotten back to the pack. I'd say it'll take him a while. It was a little while. But he is back. Ready to keep on fighting for this lead. The laps keep winding down. Gio to the top side. David's not going to go with him, so he's going to try to make a pass them both. Not quite, man. Now gets a little push from the 16. And now be counteracting with a push from the 5. But Wolf's not going to clear David heading to this corner, and he kind of butchered the entry. Here comes Gio, big shove up the racetrack. Carl Wolfield comes down on the 81. No harm, no foul. They'll keep going. Can't imagine Janicek can be too appreciative about that, though. The race has gotten far better than it was on lap 2 on stage 1. Wall 3 wide. Carl Wolf is going to take the lead. Janicek just having a front row seat in this front battle here. It's about the best seats you can get in this house. David try to go to the bottom. Carl Wolfield blocks it. The opportunity goes away. Gio now to P2. Janicek was there. He's kind of just been lingering off. About 5 to 6, 8 car lengths behind these front 3. I don't think Drat is really getting him too much help. You're gonna have to make the corner as well. As the 16 goes around, spun across the 5's nose. Not sure who was at fault, but Gio's going to get back rolling now. Janicek is now in the top 3, albeit he is still a little bit away from the 78 and the 5, though much closer now. And that gap will continue to close. He's going to close in faster now. Across the line again. The laps keep winding down, and we're trying to figure out when do these guys come down pit road, as that is the next big question, if they have to come down at all. Heading towards 50 to go. And David says we have to pit, no question about it. Pit road is open for service. But just how early do you go into pit road? Do you go in now? Do you go with the pack? And Carl Wolfie is going to go in right now. So watch him down pit road. And just like at Daytona, or not Daytona, today at Darlington, he went early, and it did not quite work out for him. We'll see if this will be any different since cornering has a lot more weight to it. And an okay click for Carlos. These guys don't really seem to be working together as much. Out of pit road, and he will be exactly one lap down. We'll have to see where this all lines up as the 78 into the wall a little bit. Oh my gosh, the 78 and this really got spun around. Three and four, GeoCity's gonna pit this time. And looks like the entire rest of the pack is some troubles trying to get into pit road, but they get into it regardless. Slightly better entry for these guys than Carl Wolfia. And we'll see if Wolfia's strategy works out, or if it won't. Good click for the 81, the 78, the 16 with a good click as well. Where does Carl Wolfia come out in all of this is a big question there. He's now down the back stretch. 78 off pit road. I think they're gonna beat the 5 by quite a bit of a big margin. They gained quite some time over those about a lap and a half. David gets wall glitch almost immediately coming off pit road though. He has Carlofia to draft off of, but I'm not even sure if Carlofia has draft from the top 2, which is team owner and a team driver. It is Geo and Genesect for the win. For the time being, we'll see if Carlofia has drafts. If not, that makes things a little bit more harder on them. And even then, it's a 2v2 battle. None of these guys are going to gain. The only way you can really gain would be in the corner. And Carlofia, although he's been fast, he hasn't been consistently better in the corners than the rest of the pack. So that would be his biggest weakness here. The 2 leaders are going to go at it. And watch what happens from here on out. Jensen making a move to the bottom. At least he tried to make a move to the inside. Outside goes the 81. Just gonna try to make it work off the corner, both side by side with them. Out to the lead. Carlofia butchers turn 1. Allows David to pull side by side along with side of him. David now to 3rd. Gio's requesting Jensen to talk to him to see how they're going to figure this out. But the question is, can they really pull away at this point? David and Carlofia are now just 2.7 seconds behind them. And within time, I think within 10 laps now to go in the race, I think within 10 laps they can probably make up that gap. long as you don't have too many butchered corners, I think they should be fine. If they keep gaining consistently, they'll be alright. 2.4 seconds now. 3/10 gain on the leaders. Wolfia up towards the wall. He's driving this truck extremely hard. Pretty wild stuff to see. Now with 8 laps to go. I don't think it necessarily matters anymore whether they get in draft or not. David and Carwolfia are there. Not there in terms of they're like right there, but they are there no matter what. If these guys try to pull away in drafts, they're not going to really get that far out. So this will be, barring any wild things, a 4-truck battle for the race win. This monkey joins within the last 10 laps of the race. So go commentator, I suppose.
It's me. That's what I do. Has there only been 4 trucks this race? Fill me in. What has happened?
It's only been 4 trucks. Gio, David, and Carwolfia have been doing pretty well. Jessica has finally gone up here. He's had some mod misfortune in the first 2 stages. It was a fully non-lift track, and then once the conditions changed, oh boy, did it change a lot. It's now a little bit lifting, and it's been a better race overall. Winding down, it's been a pretty exciting race since we changed the setup a little bit.
So, is there lifting right now or not? Hold on, I did.
Lifting.
Wait, there is lifting. Okay,
first 10 laps of the race, there was not. Once after like lap 12, right. Oh
Oh
boy.
oh no.
Like the first like 3 laps, the guys like they experienced it. They were like, "What happened?"
Anyway, looks like Gio in the lead. Genesect on the inside there.
It's been a fully green flag run this entire stage. I think all 3 stages have gone green flag thus far. We'll see if that'll stay the same with 5 laps to go.
And you just jinxed it.
I said we'll see if it'll stay the same.
Mm-hmm. David driving for XLT. XLT will be back next race, I'm pretty sure.
Yes, he will be. So I'm going to be pretty excited about that. All 4 trucks are now back in one pack.
Genesect dives it down to the inside to pass David. Gonna ride the wall a little bit off the corner. 4 to go.
Now 3 wide for second. Something
Jesus.
wants to see. Kolfa still trying to make this 3 wide situation work. It's gonna butcher his turn 1 though.
Bit. Yeah, he lifted a little bit. That butchered his corner entry, and Gio with an amazing corner gonna go back to the lead.
Janicek to the outside, trying something, and did not
And he's
work.
in the wall. Gio still out to the lead. David up to second.
Now with 3 laps to go.
Gio looking for win number 7 this season. David looking for, well, just to give XLT points.
Carwolfia looking for his 3rd win of the season, first since IRP, if he can pull this off, as he goes to the lead for the time being, still side by side with David heading into turn 3, and now Genesect comes to the party.
Genesect, I think.
Oh my god!
Wall glitch.
Goodness me, man.
Keeps
that was wild.
it straight for the time being. David toe matering it right now. And they get it back straight. What are you doing, Carwolfia? You just cut the entire straightaway.
Well, they're still in it, I guess. Well, maybe not David.
Now they're just going to wall right off the corner. All right, it's the team owner versus the driver up front.
Pretty unexpected wall glitch, although these back two may not be out of it. Janicek has a bit of a gap between them, but we're coming with the white flag, 1 lap to go at Chicagoland. Wolfie and David have caught up to these front two. And the 16 is around, nearly. Carl Wolfield tried to make a move on him, and there goes both of their races down the drain. David has a shot at this 81.
Two Busch Series drivers duking it out up front for the race win. Janicek, will he go back-to-back? It looks like he won't. Off turn 4.
David's going to come across the line and will win for XLT. Gets to win the 78 car.
Carl Wolfie gets third, I think.